The solar system is the gravitationally bound system of the star and the objects that orbit it. About 4.6 billion years ago, our solar system began as a large, cold cloud of gas and dust in space, called a nebula. This cloud consisted mainly of hydrogen and helium, with traces of heavier elements created in earlier generations of stars. Some external force, possibly a shockwave from a nearby supernova, caused this nebula to collapse under its gravity. As the cloud contracted, it began to spin, creating a rotating disk of material. Most of the material gathered in the center of the disk, where the temperature and pressure increased, eventually forming a protostar. This would later become the Sun. As the core became hotter and denser, nuclear fusion ignited, converting hydrogen into helium, and the Sun was born. The remaining gas and dust in the disk began to stick together due to electrostatic forces, forming small solid particles. These particles collided and stuck together, forming larger bodies called planetesimals. Over time, these planetesimals grew, colliding and merging to form protoplanets. Close to the Sun, where it was too hot for light gases like hydrogen and helium to condense, rocky planets like Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars formed. Farther out, where it was cooler, gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn, and ice giants like Uranus and Neptune, are formed from ice and gas. As the planets grew, their gravity influenced the remaining debris in the solar system. The Sun's solar wind helped clear out much of the remaining gas and dust, leaving behind a relatively clean system of planets, moons, asteroids, and comets. Not all material was incorporated into planets. The asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter is a region of rocky remnants, while the Kuiper Belt beyond Neptune contains icy bodies, including dwarf planets like Pluto. This process took tens of millions of years, and the solar system has evolved since then, but it has been relatively stable for about 4.5 billion years. The solar system is located in the Orion Arm, about 2/3 of the way from the center to the edge of the galaxy, and orbits the Milky Way center once every 225 million years. This is called a galactic year. At the heart of the solar system is the Sun, a G-type main sequence star that provides the necessary gravitational force that keeps the system intact, with all the planets and other objects orbiting around it. Primarily composed of hydrogen, about 74%, and helium, about 24%, with trace amounts of heavier elements like oxygen, carbon, neon, and iron. Its diameter is about 1.39 million kilometers, or 864,000 miles, and it accounts for over 99.8% of the total mass of the solar system. The core is where nuclear fusion occurs, converting hydrogen into helium and releasing enormous amounts of energy. The temperature in the core reaches around 15 million degrees Celsius. It is about 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. Energy from the core moves outward in this zone via radiation, and it can take thousands of years for energy to pass through. This is the visible surface of the Sun, with temperatures of about 5,500 degrees Celsius. The Sun's outer layers are visible during solar eclipses. The corona is the outermost layer, extending millions of kilometers into space, and is hotter than the surface, reaching over 1 million degrees Celsius. The Sun generates energy through nuclear fusion, where hydrogen atoms fuse to form helium, releasing vast amounts of energy in the form of light and heat. This energy supports life on Earth, drives weather patterns, and influences the Earth's magnetic field. The Sun is about halfway through its life cycle. It will continue burning for about 5 billion more years. When its hydrogen supply runs out, the Sun will swell into a red giant, shedding its outer layers, and eventually form a white dwarf. The solar system has 8 planets. The smallest one and the closest planet to the Sun is Mercury, with a diameter of about 4,880 kilometers or 3,032 miles. It is slightly larger than Earth's moon and has a rocky composition with a large iron core that makes up about 85% of the planet's radius. Mercury orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 58 million kilometers, 36 million miles. It has a highly elliptical orbit, taking 88 Earth days to complete one orbit around the Sun, making it the fastest orbiting planet. Planet has a unique rotational pattern. It rotates on its axis once every 59 Earth days. But due to its slow rotation and fast orbit, a day on Mercury lasts about 176 Earth days. Mercury experiences the most extreme temperature variations in the solar system, ranging from about 430 degrees Celsius during the day to minus 180 degrees Celsius at night. This is because it has virtually no atmosphere to retain heat. Unlike many other planets in the solar system, this planet has no moons or rings. Venus is the second planet from the Sun and is often referred to as Earth's sister planet due to its similar size, mass, and composition. However, its extreme environment sets it apart. The planet has a diameter of about 12,104 kilometers or 7,521 miles and orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 108 million kilometers, 67 million miles. It takes 225 Earth days to complete one orbit around the Sun. Interestingly, Venus has a very slow and retrograde rotation, meaning it spins in the opposite direction to most planets, including Earth. A single rotation takes about 243 Earth days, making a day on Venus longer than a whole year on that planet. Thick and toxic atmosphere composed mostly of carbon dioxide, about 96.5%, with clouds of sulfuric acid. This dense atmosphere creates a powerful greenhouse effect, trapping heat and making Venus the hottest planet in the solar system, with surface temperatures averaging around 465 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. The surface is characterized by vast plains, highland regions, and numerous volcanoes, with evidence of volcanic activity in the past. Pressure on Venus is about 92 times that of Earth's, equivalent to being about 900 meters underwater on Earth. The atmosphere is extremely dense, and powerful winds in the upper atmosphere can reach speeds of up to 360 kilometers per hour. Venus, like Mercury, does not have any moons or rings. Our home, Earth, is the third planet from the Sun located in the habitable zone and a place that harbors life, unique among the planets in our solar system because of its liquid water, diverse climates, and vast ecosystems. Earth has a diameter of about 12,742 kilometers or 7,918 miles, making it the fifth largest planet in the solar system. It has a layered structure consisting of a solid inner core, a liquid outer core, a viscous mantle, and a solid crust. The outer layer, the crust, is divided into tectonic plates that move and interact, leading to earthquakes, volcanic activity, and the formation of mountains. Earth orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 150 million kilometers, 93 million miles, which is known as 1 astronomical unit. It takes 365.25 days to complete one orbit around the Sun, which is why we have a leap year every 4 years. Earth rotates on its axis once every 24 hours, resulting in the day-night cycle. The atmosphere is composed mostly of nitrogen, about 78%, and oxygen, about 21%, with trace amounts of other gases, including carbon dioxide and argon. This atmosphere protects life on Earth by blocking harmful solar radiation, maintaining surface temperatures, and enabling the water cycle. About 71% of the planet's surface is covered by water, primarily in the form of oceans, which are crucial for regulating the climate. The remaining 29% consists of continents and islands with diverse landforms, including mountains, valleys, deserts, and forests. The highest point on Earth is Mount Everest, and the lowest is the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. Earth experiences a wide range of climates, from tropical to polar, influenced by its axial tilt of about 23.5 degrees. This tilt causes seasonal changes as different parts of the planet receive varying amounts of sunlight throughout the year. The planet has one natural satellite, the Moon, which is the fifth largest natural satellite in the solar system. The Moon influences Earth's tides and stabilizes its axial tilt, which helps to maintain a relatively stable climate over long periods. Mars, is fourth planet from the Sun, is often called the Red Planet due to its reddish appearance, which is caused by iron oxide on its surface. It has been a significant focus of space exploration and is considered one of the most likely places in the solar system to have once harbored life. with a diameter of about 6,779 kilometers or 4,212 miles, making it about half the size of Earth. It has a rocky composition with a core made of iron, nickel, and sulfur, surrounded by a silicate mantle and a crust. The planet orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 228 million kilometers, 142 million miles. A year on Mars takes about 687 Earth days. A day on Mars, known as a sol, lasts about 24 hours and 37 minutes. The thin atmosphere results in low surface pressure and limited ability to retain heat, leading to significant temperature fluctuations. Cold planet, with average surface temperatures around minus 60 degrees Celsius. Temperatures can vary dramatically, ranging from about 20 degrees Celsius near the equator during the day to minus 125 degrees Celsius at the poles during the winter. Diverse terrain, including the largest volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, which is about 22 kilometers high, and the deepest canyon, Valles Marineris, which stretches over 4,000 kilometers. Its surface also features vast plains, impact craters, and evidence of ancient river valleys, lakes, and possible oceans, indicating that liquid water once flowed here. Polar ice caps are made of water ice and frozen carbon dioxide. These ice caps expand and contract with the seasons, and their layers provide a record of the planet's climate history. The planet has two small moons, Phobos and Deimos, which are irregularly shaped and thought to be captured asteroids. Phobos orbits Mars very closely and is gradually spiraling inward, which means it may eventually crash into the planet's surface or break apart. Behind the planet Mars, we have a torus-shaped region with numerous rocky bodies, ranging in size from tiny dust particles to large asteroids that are hundreds of kilometers across. That place is called an asteroid belt. The largest object is Ceres, which is about 940 kilometers or 584 miles in diameter, and is classified as a dwarf planet. The asteroids in the belt are remnants from the early solar system. They are thought to be pieces of a planet that never formed due to the strong gravitational influence of our next giant. Jupiter, the fifth planet from the Sun and the largest planet in our solar system. Known for its massive size, distinctive bands of clouds, and great red spot, Jupiter is a gas giant with many fascinating features. With a diameter of about 143,000 kilometers or 89,000 miles, making it more than 11 times wider than Earth. It is so massive that it could fit all the other planets in the solar system inside it. Jupiter is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, similar to the Sun, and lacks a solid surface. Its structure includes a dense core, a layer of metallic hydrogen, and an outer layer of molecular hydrogen and helium. Jupiter orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 778 million kilometers, 484 million miles. A year on Jupiter takes about 12 Earth years. However, it has the fastest rotation of all the planets, completing a rotation on its axis in just about 10 hours. This rapid rotation causes the planet to have an oblate shape, with a noticeable bulge around its equator. The atmosphere is characterized by thick bands of clouds made of ammonia, ammonium hydrosulfide, and water vapor. The bands are divided into light zones and dark belts, which are created by strong east-west winds. The planet's atmosphere also contains traces of methane, water, ammonia, and other compounds, giving it its colorful appearance. The most famous feature is the Great Red Spot, a giant storm larger than Earth that has been raging for at least 400 years. The storm is a high-pressure region with wind speeds up to 432 kilometers per hour. It appears reddish due to unknown chemical compounds in the atmosphere. The strongest magnetic field of any planet in the solar system is about 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. This magnetic field creates a powerful magnetosphere that extends millions of kilometers into space and captures charged particles. Jupiter has 95 known moons, with 4 large ones called the Galilean moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. These moons are some of the most interesting bodies in the solar system. Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, even bigger than the planet Mercury, while Europa is considered one of the most promising places to search for signs of life due to its subsurface ocean. Also has a faint ring system composed mainly of dust particles ejected by impacts on its small inner moons. Let's move on to the next beauty. The sixth planet from the Sun and the second largest planet in our solar system, best known for its stunning system of rings. This gas giant is a fascinating world with many unique features. Saturn, with a diameter of about 116,460 kilometers or 72,366 miles, making it about 9 times wider than Earth. It is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, similar to Jupiter, with a small, dense core of rock and metal surrounded by layers of metallic hydrogen and molecular hydrogen. Saturn orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 1.4 billion kilometers, 886 million miles. A year on the planet takes about 29.5 Earth years. Saturn rotates quickly on its axis, completing one rotation in just about 10.7 hours, which causes the planet to have a noticeable flattening at the poles and a bulge at the equator. Rings are its most distinctive feature and are the most extensive and complex ring system in the solar system. They are made up of billions of ice and rock particles, ranging in size from tiny grains to objects as large as mountains. The atmosphere is composed mainly of hydrogen, about 96%, and helium, about 3%, with traces of methane, ammonia, and other gases. Saturn also has powerful winds, reaching speeds of up to 1,800 kilometers per hour near the equator. Massive storms known as the Great White Spot appear approximately every 30 years and are visible from Earth. These storms can be larger than our planet and last for several months. It is a cold planet, with average temperatures around -178 degrees Celsius. It radiates more heat than it receives from the Sun due to the slow gravitational compression of its atmosphere and internal heat generated by helium rain falling through its hydrogen layers. Saturn has 145 known moons and moonlets, with Titan being the largest and the second largest moon in the solar system. Titan is unique because it has a thick atmosphere and liquid methane lakes on its surface, making it one of the most intriguing objects in the search for extraterrestrial life. Other notable moons include Enceladus, which has geysers that spew water vapor and ice, suggesting a subsurface ocean that could potentially harbor life. The ice giant. Uranus is the seventh planet from the Sun and is known for its unique tilt, faint rings, and icy composition. It is one of the 2 ice giants in the solar system and has a distinct blue-green color due to the presence of methane in its atmosphere. With a diameter of about 50,724 kilometers or 31,518 miles, making it the 3rd largest planet by diameter but the 4th largest by mass. Uranus orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 2.9 billion kilometers, 1.8 billion miles. Its rotation is highly unusual. Uranus is tilted on its side at an angle of about 98 degrees relative to its orbit, meaning it essentially rolls around the Sun. This extreme tilt results in extreme seasonal variations, with each pole experiencing 42 years of continuous sunlight followed by 42 years of darkness. The atmosphere is composed mostly of hydrogen, about 82%, and helium, about 15%, with a significant amount of methane, about 2.3%, that absorbs red light and gives the planet its blue-green color. The atmosphere also contains traces of water and ammonia. It is characterized by low temperatures, with average cloud tops around -224 degrees Celsius, making Uranus one of the coldest planets in the solar system. Uranus has a faint ring system made up of 13 known rings, which are narrow and dark. The rings are thought to be relatively young and may have formed from shattered moons or other debris. The planet has 27 known moons, with some showing signs of geological activity, such as Miranda, which has a varied and complex surface with cliffs, valleys, and craters. We are moving towards very distant objects where the Sun is just a point. Neptune is the 8th and farthest planet from the Sun in our solar system, known for its deep blue color, intense winds, and dynamic atmosphere. With a diameter of about 49,244 kilometers or 30,598 miles, making it slightly smaller than Uranus but more massive. It consists mainly of hydrogen, helium, and ices. Neptune has a rocky core surrounded by a thick layer of water, ammonia, and methane ice, and an outer atmosphere of hydrogen, helium, and methane gas. Like other gas giants, Neptune also has a ring system. The rings are made up of small rocks and dust. The planet orbits the Sun at an average distance of about 4.5 billion kilometers, 2.8 billion miles. A year on Neptune takes about 165 Earth years. Neptune has a rotation period of roughly 16 hours, meaning a day on Neptune is shorter than a day on Earth. The atmosphere contains clouds of methane ice, and it experiences extreme weather, including the fastest winds in the solar system, which can reach speeds of up to 2,100 kilometers per hour. As an extremely cold planet, with average temperatures around -214 degrees Celsius. Despite being far from the Sun, Neptune emits more heat than it receives due to internal processes, possibly from the slow contraction of the planet's core. Neptune has 14 known moons, with the largest and most notable being Triton. Triton is unique among large moons because it orbits a planet in the opposite direction of the planet's rotation, known as a retrograde orbit. Triton is geologically active, and it has a surface covered in ice and frozen nitrogen. Beyond Neptune's orbit at about 30 astronomical units or 4.5 billion kilometers from the Sun, begins the Kuiper Belt. It is home to Pluto and most of the known dwarf planets, comets, and millions of objects. Donut-shaped disk surrounding the solar system's plane. Main region of the Kuiper Belt ends at around 50 astronomical units or 7.5 billion kilometers from the Sun. At the very end of our solar system, we are approaching the Oort cloud, located far beyond from everything mentioned, at a distance of roughly 2,000 to 100,000 astronomical units from our star, place where the Sun's gravitational influence ends. These icy bodies could include both comets and planetesimals, which are small bodies that could have formed into planets, but did not. No direct observations of the Oort cloud have been made because the objects are too distant and faint. Its existence is inferred from the trajectories and behavior of long-period comets.